Hey YouTube, just a quick video here for this. This is a Caparison. I've got this in just for wiring. It's a wee bit of a sneaky video. I've not actually told the guy who I've just wired it for that I'm doing a video, so hopefully if this is up, he okayed it. I kind of want to do this because this is a Japanese guitar and it's the first guitar I've played of the modern era that's I like. It's well, not the first one I like, but it's, see, if it hadn't said made in Japan on it, or he hadn't told me it does say made in Japan on it, I would have kind of guessed. It feels so similar to that, it's ridiculous, to the point of, I mean, it's not exactly the same shape, but just everything about it, it just feels the same. That's like a 1984 West Tone. It did have active EMGs in it, and the guy didn't like them, so, which I understand because I'm not really a big fan of EMGs either. So he's put Seymour Duncans. I'm not sure exactly which models they are. I've just noticed that this one's the wrong way around. So when you do this, next time you change strings, swap it around, see that these poles have got the screws on them, on the neck pickup generally these are there. It doesn't really make any difference, it's just, you would notice it. Peter Green had it that way around, because he put it on the wrong way around. It doesn't make any difference to the sound. Yeah, so there's no knobs on it, it's just, so they should have knobs of some description. But there's a bridge pickup, tone control. It's nice having new tone controls. I very rarely have new tone controls. Neck pickup. Both of them. So I would reckon that these are probably PAF style, sort of relatively low output, vintagey models. I'll ask the guy actually, I might put it in the description down below if he okays me doing a video of his guitar, saying what actual models they are. What are the normal ones? Is it a JB and a Jazz? Is it sort of what most people put in? That could be what this is. Joyous Dream pedal. Terrible backing track I put on, sorry. Yeah, so to be honest, I haven't actually looked at this guitar very much apart from, I just basically connected up. It's Seymour Duncan ones that come with the, the old-fashioned braided cable, which is a pig to work with. It does look better. It's vintage, so that's obviously better. But I'm quite happy with plastic coated wires. But to be vintage correct, it's got to be the braided cable. So this has got a maple cap. You can see it's not it's not a veneer, or maybe it's a veneer on top of a maple cap. It doesn't look like a veneer. But if you look in there behind the binding doesn't, you can see the maple cap between the binding and the body, which I would say is, well, it's a mahogany body, mahogany neck. I dare say Gotor tuners by the looks of things. A C2 series. I don't really know what that means. And I think the Ibanez call that Cosmo finish. It's kind of not black and not silver. It's somewhere in the middle. For some reason I want to say cobalt. Yes, so I think this guitar is pretty much new. Or he said it was a new old stock. I think it's a 2014 or 2016. I can't remember exactly what he said. 24 frets, binding. I think a rosewood fretboard. Could be ebony. I think it's rosewood. Compared to one of these things that makes it feel like this one. Yeah, so this is the one that I reckon is. It's a very similar. It's obviously not quite exactly the same shape. It's got a trem and a couple of extra bits on it, but basically it's the 20-year or 30-year newer version of this guitar. That might be to do with just the fact it's like a sort of it's like a carved top. It's a very similar weight. It's the same neck dimensions. Kind of sitting there wondering, like Matsumoku closed down in '87. So what did the guy who was the folk who used to make that guitar do after '87? And they kind of went to other factories still making guitars, probably still in Japan. And you start wondering if maybe there's a more of a link. I've not actually looked up I can't even say it. Caparison guitars. I've never heard of them. But very nice. And these are the pickups I would want in it. Whether I don't know if I would choose Seymour Duncans, but whatever type these are, sort of vintagey. I say low output. I mean low output in the terms of against like modern, high gain pickups. Low output, but probably maybe high output compared to like vintage PAFs or whatever you call them. Lower output than DiMarzio Super Distortions, basically. That's kind of really the only thing I can really base it against. So rock on. Definitely worth a look. I shall be having a look at these and seeing. Sometimes if you're buying guitars that are the cheapest era, the best buys you tend to get are when a guitar's sort of 10 to 15 years old. Because once they start getting to sort of 20 and 25 years old, they start being vintage, therefore collectible, desirable, etc. So if you get one that's just slightly older, well, I don't know how long these have been going for, but maybe if you get one of these that's maybe 10 years old, that maybe at its sort of lowest ebb for how much it's worth, where you can pick up an awesome guitar for less. Kind of looks a wee bit baby metal-y. One of them guys like that, maybe it's just, there's ESP they use. Interesting headstock as well. Not seen it before, but I like it. I've got a thing about headstocks. It's like they don't need to be, the correct Gibson or the correct, but it just has to be a nice looking headstock, and that is. It's just a little bit different, not too extreme. Maybe a wee bit PRS-y. Maybe. Let's see, let's get a maple cap on the headstock as well. Very pretty. So, gets a thumbs up from me. Rock on.